During Team of the Season, U7 Buy will be offering up to 12% off on coins throughout the duration of Team of the Season. If you want to get your 12% off, make sure you use code Viper at checkout. But for now, let's get into the video. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you the best tactics currently on FIFA 22 in my personal opinion. I've been faltering a little bit recently, and these tactics have got me back to my best, most versatile formation on the game. We're going to waste no time. We're going to get into the tactics. It's going to be the 3-5-2. Now, if you guys know, there was a pro player, I can't remember his name for the life of me, that used this, and then everybody started using it. And at the high level of FIFA, this is considered to be the best formation in the game right now. There's a reason for that. You get so much from it. As you can see here, you've got your two wide mids if you want to, play for crosses, which is something that I'm doing quite a lot at the moment. Then you've got them as wing backs. Also, if you want to set up in a 5-back, you've also got that opportunity there. You've got the two midfielders. We actually allow one to push forward, creates kind of like a 4 in attack, and then a 6 if you get the fullbacks moving forward as well, or the wide man, I'm going to call them. But you have so many opportunities to go forward here, and you've got to make sure that you have really fast centre-backs to play this formation. If you don't have fast centre-backs, you'll get done on over the tops quite a lot. So you have to be very, very careful there. But if you are competent defensively, this is the best formation on the game, I promise you. So with me getting the logistics out of the way, let's actually get into the tactics. So we're on balanced 50-50. Now, I found that the higher you put up the depth, the more susceptible you are to the over the tops. And some people think they're not very good anymore. I personally think they're still very, very meta and very effective. So having this on 50, just balance there. Make sure you have fast centre-backs, as I've already said, and you'll be fine on 50. If you want to try a bit higher, go for it. If you've got the best, fastest centre-backs on the game, you can go a bit higher. And if you don't have the fastest on the game, drop it down to 45 or 40. You will be absolutely fine there. Just don't drop too deep and don't press too high with the depth, as then you will get forced into either finesse shots or over the top balls. Width is pretty self-explanatory. You don't want to put that up too high. Leaves too many gaps between the three centre-backs, and that is not what you want. Long ball for the build-up play. Now, this is for the over-the-tops and to get wide as well. Now, what ends up happening is your wide mids will end up going on to the full-back. If your opponents press quite high, if you're winning a game 1 or 2-0, and it's like the 80th minute, and they're pushing forward, you'll get a lot of space in behind it in the wide areas, and it's really nice because you're able to play that cross in and get lots of opportunities that way. Not only do you get the crosses, I know heading is a bit dodgy on champs because it's fully manual. You'll usually have time to bring the ball down and take a shot with your actual foot instead of heading the ball constantly. And it's really, really nice for this formation, in my personal opinion. And forward runs as well also plays into that as well. What ends up happening here, a lot of players will be coming forward. You have lots of options when you're in and around the box, and it just allows for a lot of creativity. If you want to try, play through the lines, you can. If you want to go wide again, you can. It just gives you lots of options when you're in the final third, and that is why I prefer this as the #1 chance creation tactic, really. Not too much other to say about that, really, to be honest. It just works really, really well in this formation. Width is high, once again, for the wide mids. That's where you're going to get most of your joy in this formation, with the wide mids. Now, as you can see as well, we're playing two fullbacks there, just because we had the defensive cover then, and they are also pretty decent going forward. I would prefer Alphonso Davies in front of Nuno Mendes. But, we don't always have the opportunities to do that. And I also want to say as well, if you do want to drop a fullback into centre-back here, works an absolute treat. I was using Hakimi's team of the year down at centre-back for a long time in this formation, and he was absolutely brilliant. He dealt with the over-the-tops really well, and he was an absolute brilliant player down at centre-back. So don't be afraid to do that. Just only play one of your fullbacks down there if you are going to try this. Moving on now to the players in the box. Players in the box I always like to have high. More opportunities for, players to run into the box for a cross, as you can see on the diagram down there. And that is why we have that high. I've always had this high. Allows you for cutbacks as well. If you do get down the byline, you can do lots of cutbacks then as well. Have this at least on 6, in my personal opinion. Highest I'd go is 8, but 7 is a sweet spot for me personally. Corners and free kicks, more so on the corners. Make sure you have this on 1. So you don't get hit on the counter-attack too hard if you do lose the ball from the corner. That is why that's on 1. Free kicks is completely up to you, really. I just like to have it on 1 for the same reason as corners, but most free kicks I do directly hit anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Moving on to the instructions now. On the Weghorst, we have stay central because we don't want him drifting anywhere. We want him to be able to be in the box ready for a cross. And on stay forward. Vlahovic is a bit more versatile. He is still really good in the air, but we've just got him on stay forward so he can move a bit wider to give other options and kind of be the target man kind of presence, even though Weghorst is bigger for that. But I do prefer Vlahovic to give more options to the wide players and to be able to bring it back when needed. Cantonaro's on stay forward. Now, you can try this as well. Get into the box for the cross if you've got a big man at cam. And I do like this, to be fair. I'm probably going to keep that on there. I have used that a few times and I do really enjoy it. Cantona or your middle cam has to be on stay forward though, absolutely. Then your wide players, they're both on the same here. You've got them on come back on defence, stay wide and get into the box for the cross. Now, come back on defence is considered a little bit ratty, but in this formation it kind of sets up as a 5 when you're defending. When you're going forward, you've got them 2 as wingers, which is really, really nice to have and allows you to be really compact defensively when you need to be. In a tight game, you really, really need these to be helping you defensively, and they do a treat. You know, they're so fast as well that it's really nice to have them on comeback. Stay wide is just because we've got so many options through the middle. If you look at the team, apart from the 2 wide players, it's a very direct through the middle formation. So that is why we like to have them on stay wide, to give that width option when we need it. Get into the box for the cross as well. So whoever you're crossing with, the other one's going to be getting into the box for you, which is really nice to have also. Moving on to the 2 CDMs now. Your more advanced in CDM, have him on balanced attack, but make sure you put cut passing lanes and cover centre on. I found this to work really, really well on both of my DMs. And the reason for that is they're quite buzzy around the middle of the park, and they do get involved and intercept quite a lot. You know, they do cut passing lanes, that's what everybody usually does anyway. But I am quite aggressive with my attacking centre mid, which is Nkunku in this case. And we do buzz around quite a lot with him. You know, he's got really good agility and balance, so he's able to get involved in defensive areas really well and also move forward and really provide an extra option. And Nkunku is absolutely brilliant on this game as well. Then our more defensive CDM, the same kind of reasons, but just on stay back this time, as it does help you more. You know, you've got that other option there. So you do essentially have, when you're defending, you have a 5 back plus Tonali, or I suppose your more defensive CDM. I shouldn't list him as Tonali because he might not be your CDM. But then you've also, you've got essentially a 4 back plus the 2 wing backs offering you some support as well, which is really nice. And I love this formation, guys. It works so well. It's so versatile. Gives you so many options going forward. Defensively, you are absolutely sound as well. I love this formation. I love these tactics and I love these instructions. If you want to give them a try, let me know what you think to them in game. Obviously, Ultimate Tots Champs weekend, so make sure you give them a go in Rivals first to make sure you like them. And what I forgot to mention at the start is I'm really enjoying the big man striker meta right now. If you guys want to try that out, I highly recommend you do, because crossing is really OP right now. All you have to do is do a ball roll or any skill move straight into a cross. They're laser accurate. They're so, so good. So I highly recommend you try that. And that's another good reason for having fullbacks playing in the wide areas, because they've got such good crossing. 96 on Cuadrado there. And then we've got 95 on Nuno Mendes. Now, they can't shoot the best, but they don't often get in shooting position, so to speak. But what will end up happening, if you do get into a shooting position, it will be a finesse shot. And I know not a lot of you guys try finesse shots from long range. Cuadrado's able to do them, not so much Nuno Mendes. And if you do have somebody like Nkunku, you can't find a spot for him in the middle of the park. He's really good on the wide areas as well. Perisic, De Bruyne, players like that are really good for that position as well, that are able to defend also. So make sure you give that a try if you don't have the fullback options. And as I said earlier in the video, playing Nuno Mendes or Cuadrado at centre-back, it's not going to hurt you either. So give that a try, guys. But if you did enjoy today's video, make sure you leave a like on it, subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell so you never miss a video. But guys, that's going to be it from me for now, so take care.